Hello guys, in front of me I have my son who's helping me out and a new Vevor diesel heater. Vevor? V-E-V-O-R, Vevor. Record, be the cameraman. Hold it up. Hold it like that. And action. So I'm just gonna, yeah, that's it. So I'm not gonna waste time. Keep the camera up. So I'm not gonna waste time unboxing it too much. The gist of the video is to set it up. So everyone was going crazy about these on the internet, and now I am finally involved in testing one out, and I have big plans for this. So as you can see, well maybe not, I have had a big cleanup in my workshop recently. Got rid of a lot of stuff, all the shelves and everything is just looking much more better. And I've got a new garage door coming, so when this video comes live, new garage door will be on there, so I can have this room sealed up and actually get some warmth, especially now it's winter. So my plan is to have this somewhere over here in this corner. I don't know yet, but it is going to be in that corner. And essentially this burns diesel, house oil, and produces 8 kilowatts of heat energy, which for a garage this small should be pretty cool. So right out of the box you have your alley intake, your stainless exhaust. This here goes on the front, that diverts where you want the hot air to come out of. I think this goes on the grate of the front there again. You've got an exhaust system because it does combust the diesel inside, an air filter, some Jubilee clips, hoses, some exhaust pipe insulation sleeve. So this is what comes in the box. Opening up the machine. Opening up this machine, let's see. Now, I believe this is just under £100. Here's the inside. Quite decent fuel tank. Here's a 5-litre jerry can. Underneath it, what do we have? That there is the fuel pump, I know that. You have a 20 amp fuse, yep. And then you have to put your own power connection on the end. It asks for 12 or 24 volts at least 15 amps. I added in a fuel filter. If I take this off, the final connection right here. There we go. So she's apart right now, and from my understanding of this, inside here is the combustion chamber. One of these is the intake and exhaust. I'm assuming this is the intake because it's got the fuel line near it. So air comes in, combusts in this compartment here. A centrifugal fan blows the air, so it sucks it through the middle, chucks it to the outside and blows it across the outside of this. And these fins are like heat exchangers, taking the hot air and blowing it out the front of the machine. So essentially you don't breathe in the nasty fumes of this. It's not like a normal diesel heater where you burn things inside your breathing compartment. So that's what makes this so special. And I'm going to quickly put this back together and explain what the plan is. What is my plan on this one? So as you can see, I'm a welding channel. I need to do something welding related with this. So my plan is, there's my retaining wall.
I don't want to bore you too much, but essentially I'm going to divert the exhaust through a heat exchanger, a radiator essentially, and try to draw out as much temperature out of the gases that I can to then pump back into the room. So I'm going to try and explain as much of this as I can because there's a lot of information I've had access to in the background that I've not shared in this video. But essentially, my garage is freezing. I've got big gaps around the old garage door and condensation was coming through. So I needed a new door. I've bought myself a nice secure door now, and a heater was part of the renovations of the garage, to say, because it is freezing in there. And I've seen the Vevor diesel heater all over YouTube. You'd be surprised if you haven't seen it. So I've watched all the videos and everyone all says the same thing, and I show it a little bit in this video where the exhaust temperatures are coming out hotter than the output. So everyone's trying to utilize that one way or another. They're using radiators, you know, literally piping the exhaust into a radiator. They're pumping it into an intercooler. They're doing it in like a bucket with the exhaust going through and a whole bunch of sand. So many different things. And part of me receiving this product for free was I wanted to do something different, or I guess to a higher standard than everyone else, just because I'm a welding channel. I don't know. You let me know what you think if I achieved the higher standards. To me, the idea was good. The execution was poor. When I work and do things for myself, I just slap it together because it's for myself. I really don't care. But yeah, so that's where I got the idea from this radiator thing. I ordered these materials, delivery included. It was £40. Everything was already pre-cut. I just needed to chop the box section in half and just put it together. Essentially, it weren't too much work. But yeah, the idea is to have the exhaust come out of the radiator, which I'm making now. Have the exhaust come out of it, come in super hot, come out lukewarm, and for the most part, I did achieve it. The radiator is hot, but it don't burn you, and I don't know what it's doing to heat up the room, because it's warm. You can hold your hand on it all day. At the bottom you'd burn yourself, but at the top you can hold your hand on it, and I don't know how effective it is. Quick one here though, the spacing, I'm using the grinding disc right here as the spacing. The power I was welding at, it was I think I went up to 100 amps, 25 or 35% cleaning or something like that, 60 hertz, 2.4 filler wire, and it was a 40-43 rod. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, back to this. Yeah, I wanted to, you know, get out as much heat as possible, and I'd say it's a success. I'd say it is a success. I don't have all of the figures of efficiency. To be honest, my maths isn't good enough. I just don't even want to go down that route. You can Google it. I've seen various different examples, but something like, I think UK Energy, in the video I see, the UK Energy cost was something like 35 pence per kilowatt hour, and this was around 10 pence per kilowatt hour. So less than half. But for me, whatever it cost, that it weren't really too much a concern of the cost. It was just having heat in the garage. And when I come in the garage, I don't want to turn on a little electric heater. That's, you know, yeah, it's a waste of energy. I guess it is a cost then. You can burn different things in this: red diesel, kerosene, anything that doesn't really give off vapors you can burn. People's put engine oil in there, but you got to be careful because it just clogs up the inside of it. But you can filter it out and run it on so many different things. But now I'm in two minds where to put this, and I'm just debating. You know, you're standing and staring, thinking. The issue I had is one of the walls I share with my neighbour's garage. The other wall is the end garage, and it is a vast, massive space of brick. So I didn't just want a hole poking out the side with a flue, with condensation and smoke coming out of it. I didn't want that. This wall that I'm drilling into is on my property. Look how soft the brickwork is. Look, my house is like 40 years old, or my garage is 40 years old, and it's just made out of just monkey brick. But yeah, I was thinking where I wanted the output to be, because that's the pedestrian walkway, and the original plan was to have it come out of the bottom. So I thought, okay, that's right in line with people walking, and my son playing in there. That was a big problem I was having with the design of this, is where to put it, which is safe for my son. He spends almost every night out in the garage with me. I come home from work and we just play around in the garage. I fix, you know, RC cars, make things. I've got private jobs, all sorts of things, and he's just there with me. So I wanted to make it somewhat safe for him, which just gave me headaches of where to put it. But I'm happy with the location. It came out nicely. I did put brackets on it off camera, and what I ended up doing, so I've kind of roughly marked it out. This here is going to be the exhaust. and then I drill all the way through it on the inside, so I know where to mark when I put it on the wall. So that little hole that I drilled in it is now like a pilot hole that allowed me to drill into the brick wall. I was a little bit nervous drilling through this wall. Luckily my neighbor had a nice piece of a nice massive drill bit. Saved me spending like 30-40 quid, because at this point here this project had only cost me £8 in diesel and 40 quid on materials. So I was pretty pleased with it. A little tip: you drill part way through each side, meet in the middle, and then you don't get any blowout. But I was going through this brick wall so easy. It's really made of nothing. The Vevor diesel heater, I'm just gonna rate it, I don't know, a 10 out of 10 for cost and just what it is. It is a design of it is a German design of a £600-700 diesel heater for camper vans, and their patent ran out. And you know when certain Chinese companies get a hold of copying things, that's what they did. They copied it and they've just made it so much more cheaper. I think links are going to be in the description. You know, if you're going to buy one, buy it through there. They'll see, and hopefully I can get more free stuff off of them. But it was only like £80 if you want to buy one at the time of the recording on the sale. £100 to £80, which is nothing. I was going to buy one anyway, and I also was going to make this video anyway because I think it's decent content. So for that reason there, when they reached out to me, yeah, I took it. So although I have to say nice things about them, there isn't really much bad to say about this. Fine, some pieces, you know, some components might last a couple years, some might last a couple weeks. It's just the draw of the dice when it comes to these things. But the barrier for entry of a diesel heater like this is ready, so nothing.
That's the exhaust is on, bit of flexi. Here's my only concern: it's really close to the plastic, but I'm going to sort something out. I guess I should have made the brackets bigger. I'll put a heat shield between that. So far all good. So the exhaust is going to come through here, hopefully dissipate, come up all the way through out the top. I am plug welded that hole closed, and underneath here is a drain for any condensation or anything that builds up in it. The outside, that's how the outside looks right now. I will neaten it up, put a plate over the top of it so it looks better. I'm not too upset with that. So let's see, push on.
Start heating.
So it's gonna the glow plug is gonna start to preheat inside. The fuel pump's gonna kick on. I've already tested it a little bit earlier. There's a bit of air coming out of here. So there's the fuel pump kicking on. The ignition should hopefully start soon. Let me close that door. Lukewarm. How about inside? So she is done. She is finished. I am really happy with this. It is the amount of heat coming off of this. There is no way it can't heat up my garage. It's only a small space. It is looking promising. So the temperature here, 50 degrees, but right now my hand's literally burning. The best way to describe how hot this is, it's hotter than full temperature coming out of your car's heating. Underneath the exhaust flue, how much temperature I say? What was it? 150 degrees. So it's getting really hot, slowly cooling down further it goes along. gets to here. .42. This side. Cooler. 20 coming out the exhaust. 20. 21. That's nice. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's a nice height. I'll chop that down, sort that out later on, but for now, leave it here, see how it works for a bit. But I'm really chuffed with how it came out. How does this feel? Warm, 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 warm. I feel this one here isn't really getting much use. Wow. Okay, that caught me. Down below. Down below is where it's hot. Yeah, that puts it into perspective how hot it is. So I'm gonna put a guard around here so my son can't touch it and burn himself, and then after that she is good. She is done. Well, I hope you lot enjoyed this video. I thought I'd show you me doing some welding. After all, it is a welding channel. Things I would do differently: probably make the channels run a little bit further distance. I knew that was going to be an issue, but for the most part, any gains of energy I would have been happy with, if that makes sense. So, or to be honest, I think I might just insulate the bottom pieces. That's what I'm going to do. Put some insulation on it, and yeah, happy days. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you lot in the next video.